Hi guys, welcome back on the channel after quite some time. First of all, I would like to really apologize for not posting anything. You know, I was very busy for the last couple of months, and hopefully this dry span is coming to an end, and when I go back to Saudi Arabia, I will be able to post the campaigns I promised and a lot more stuff. But I found the opportunity now that I left for a week to go back home to recover for a short vacation. And I will shoot a couple of videos. One is a video that is requested from you guys quite a lot because you're asking about the differences and how Claymore and Perry look side by side. Also, there is a Q&A video that I prepared already and I will post again this week. So hopefully we can have a couple of videos until I go back to Saudi Arabia. So the first video I'm going to shoot has to do with Perry and Claymore Castings. There have been many questions during these years on the channel regarding how Perry and Claymore look together and if they fit together. Something that obviously I have to say it's not possible, not regarding size-wise, but mostly, I apologize, this is my wife's washing machine. You know, my playroom has been invaded by my wife, so unfortunately I'm not living here permanently, so I have to bear with this. Regardless, so obviously there's a lot of questions about Perry and Claymore, where to go, what to follow. Obviously depends on the period and the budget. These are questions that will be answered in a very nice Q&A. Three friends of mine, Lazzy, Champion and Theron and Roscoe did, who are basically running the Discord channel of the YouTube channel, and they had some really nice questions that I will answer, and hopefully many things will be clarified. But many of you asked to see them side by side, to see how they look, to see the differences in period, and I decided that I'm here. We have both armies here, and late and early 100 Years' War, so we can go and have a closer look. So if we zoom in a bit, I have to say that the Claymore are based on 40 by 40 bases. The Perry are based on 50 by 50. It was the first basing system I did, 50 by 50. It looked good to me, but now I'm opting 40 by 40. I think 40 by 40 looks better, a bit more congested, a bit more, it shows a little bit more the, you know, the mass effect of the medieval charge. Although 50 by 50 doesn't look bad at all. So let's go and see what is the difference. Obviously we have a difference in an era, a difference in armor, a difference in weapons. You can very easily see from here. Let me put it in a better position. I will try to zoom in again, but you can see here we have swords, we have a lot of shields, double-handed weapons, but of a different kind. The armor is different, as you can see. There is a difference between mid 14th century and early 15th century in armor and how the units look. Obviously, we can figure, see how different the Perry looks. They look like, you know, armored tanks, a lot of plate everywhere. Although some parts are a little bit, you have a couple of chainmail parts and, you know, some clothes, but in general, in comparison to the Claymore, you see there is a major difference in basically the armor and the accessories, the helms, and how they look. There is obviously differences, something that we cannot really deny. So I think they don't fit together. I've mentioned before that the lower ranking troops of both eras can fit because, you know, low ranking troops were low ranking troops, especially from Claymore. But generally speaking, the knights, the man-at-arms would have been much different than actually, you know, the early or mid 100 Years' War counterparts. Size-wise, yeah, the Claymore are a little bit smaller than the Perry. I don't think they wouldn't fit together. There's not a big difference. Let me try and go and align with the miniatures. One sec. So you can see there's not such a big difference in height. The poses of the Claymore, that they're a little bent, a little bit more action poses, make them look shorter, but in general they're not that much shorter. But as you can see, there is a very, very big difference in armor and in weapons. The weapons are really robust of the late 100 Years' War, really double-handed weapons that kill, you know, bills. The same with for early 100 Years' War, but again, you see you have swords that you don't find so much in the latter part of the 100 Years' War. And in general, the armor is a little bit different. If I zoom in a bit, I think you can see if I put them here together that there is a difference. There is a quite substantial difference. So as you can see, guys, they're two very unique manufacturers from the same era but different period that I don't think they can be mixed together, especially the higher ranking troops. I think they are the best for their period by far, both cases. Regarding now what you want and what you want to follow has to do with the budget. Obviously periplastics are cheaper, and at the same time though, depending on the characters you want to portray, on what you like, you want, for example, to have the Earl of Salisbury here, a great commander, that the Duke of Bedford, excuse me, one of the commanders I really like, or you want to have the Earl of Salisbury, again, two major commanders that are part of the later part of the 100 Years' War, or you have some other commanders that you've seen in many of my videos that can be portrayed for the early part of the 100 Years' War, for the battles of Cris and Poitiers. So it's a matter of, it's an acquired taste, it's a matter of what you want to portray. But in general, as you can see, the miniatures cannot be mixed together. They're from very different eras, and they wouldn't look good on the table. It's up to you really, but I think if you want to stay historically accurate, and if you want really to portray your battles historically accurate, with historical accuracy, these miniatures cannot be mixed, unless again you take lower ranking troops of Claymore casting and you mix them a little bit for variety, for the period. Yes, if you take lower ranking troops from Claymore castings, they can fit for heavy infantry, for example. Now, before we close, I just want to show you that I put today my Crusades table. This is my Crusades table. You see better. Here it is. I have Crusader armies, so this is my Crusades table that I haven't used for a long time, hopefully soon. And here, if you want to go, here we have King Henry V from Perry Miniatures. Very nice miniature, very active. And here was the Marshal of France, who died in the Battle of Poitiers. So in general, I think it was a good opportunity for you to see the two manufacturers side by side, see them together, and make your own decisions on how they look. Again, thank you for watching. I hope I will be more active very soon, and actually from this week, as we have the first video posting. And talk to you soon. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great week, and we will have another Q&A video very soon, hopefully this week. Bye-bye, everyone.